So, today we're going to talk about leveraging other people's time and talents to create maximum impact in your business or ministry. If you've ever felt like there aren't enough hours in the day, you're not alone. Maybe this sounds familiar. You start the morning with a massive to-do list, and by the end of the day, you feel like you have barely made a dent in that list. And no matter how hard you work, there's always more to do. The reality is that if you're trying to grow a business or ministry on your own, you are going to eventually hit a ceiling. Successful entrepreneurs and leaders and visionaries don't try to do everything themselves. They learn how to leverage other people's time, skills, and expertise to scale their efforts and impact. Even Moses had to learn this lesson. In Exodus 18, he was overwhelmed with leadership responsibilities. His father-in-law Jethro comes to him and says, "What you're doing is not good. You and these people who come to you will only wear yourselves out. The work is too heavy for you. You cannot handle it alone." Moses took this advice to heart. He appointed leaders to handle the daily matters, and he was able to focus on his highest calling. And this same principle applies today. You're not meant to do everything alone. And so in our video today, we're going to talk about how to delegate effectively, how to build a high-performing team, and how to amplify your results while avoiding the common pitfalls that come with delegation. And so in our video, here's a few things we'll be covering. Number one, trying to do everything yourself leads to burnout and limits growth. We'll look at the 80-20 rule, the Pareto Principle, and we'll talk about how that applies to delegation as well. We'll discuss why finding the right team members is crucial. We'll look at the synergistic multiplier of team productivity. We'll talk about how the most effective delegation moves beyond just task-based assignments. We'll also address some of the common fears about delegation, like lack of trust, or belief that it's just faster to do it yourself, and why those have to be overcome. And finally, we'll look at biblical leadership and why delegation is emphasized. So let's get started. When we talk about leveraging other people's time and talent, we need to understand there is real power here. You see, many entrepreneurs believe that working harder will lead to their success, but what they don't realize is they only have so much time. Time is a limited resource. It is finite. And at some point, doing everything alone will actually slow down progress and prevent real growth. And by leveraging other people's time, talents, and abilities, business owners and leaders can focus on what truly moves the needle, whether that's strategic planning, innovation, or scaling operations. You see, there's a real limitation to doing everything alone because time is finite. And no matter how skilled or how hardworking you are, there are still only 24 hours in each and every day. And when you try to handle everything alone, all that does is it leads to exhaustion and burnout. And overworking results in decreased efficiency and poor decision making. And in the end, a lack of delegation stifles business growth. If you don't delegate, you actually become the bottleneck, limiting how far your business can go. Here's a biblical insight for you: the strength of many. Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 and 10. Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls, one can help the other up. You see, Moses made a leadership shift in Exodus chapter 18, verses 17 and 18. Jethro advised Moses to appoint capable leaders to handle disputes so that Moses could focus on the more significant matters of leading the people. There is strength in delegation. Let me give you a case study here. A business owner hires a virtual assistant to handle email management. How many hours do you spend in your email every week? Scheduling and customer service. This one simple delegation frees up 10 hours per week, allowing the owner to focus on business development, which leads to a 50% increase within 6 months. Let me give you a real-world impact study from my own business. Last year, I took my eyes off business development and got buried in some operational stuff. We saw our revenues decline by nearly a third during that period. You cannot afford not to delegate. You cannot afford not to have your eyes focused on the most important things. See, identify the tasks to delegate for maximum impact. In my own case, operations is not what moves the needle forward the most in our business. It's not the highest and best use of my time. I have to delegate operational things. And so, this is our next point. One of the most common reasons that entrepreneurs struggle with delegation is they don't know what to delegate. So they try to hold on to every task, believing that no one can do it as well. However, not every task requires your direct involvement. See, some entrepreneurs, and I'm guilty too, have a messiah complex. We believe we've got to go save every situation. No, we need to learn to delegate. However, not every task requires your direct involvement. Don't forget that. Some tasks are essential for growth, while others consume time without consistently contributing to forward progress. So, let's talk about tasks that should be delegated first. Repetitive administrative work, email management, scheduling, bookkeeping. Time-consuming, low-value tasks, data entry, customer service, social media posting. Specialized skills that you lack, graphic design, copywriting, accounting, IT management. Tasks others can do better or faster. Hiring a marketing expert rather than trying to learn everything yourself. Here's an action step for you. Make a list of all your tasks and categories and categorize them into must-do versus delegate. A mentor of mine a few years ago had me break it up this way. Minimum wage activities. He had me take my income and divide it into an hourly wage. And then he had me look at all the tasks I was doing and anything that I could pay somebody a whole lot less to do, I needed to delegate and pay to buy back my time. By the way, here's a freebie for you. You need to read the book, Buy Back Your Time by Dan Martell. It will revolutionize your business. Number 3, choosing the right people for your team. So even if you recognize the importance of delegation, be sure to choose the right people to delegate to. This is a critical piece. If you hire the wrong team members, it can lead to inefficiency, poor execution and increased stress rather than relief. So here's what you want to look for in your team members. Number one, competency. Do they have the necessary skills to handle the task? Number two, character. Are they trustworthy and aligned with your values? I actually think character supersedes competency. I can teach you competency most of the time. I can't teach you character. And then commitment. Are they dependable and willing to grow with your business? So where do you find this talent? Well, look for freelancers. Upwork, Fiverr, LinkedIn for specialized projects. I've used Upwork for years. It's still my go-to place when I need talent that is specialized. Virtual assistants for ongoing administrative support. Strategic business partners for long-term collaboration. And then employees for core business functions that you need day to day. Here's an action step. Start small, hire a freelancer or a VA for a few hours per week to test the waters. I've got some freelancers that work for me a couple of hours a month. I've got freelancers that work for me several hours a week. And then I've got my team that works with me every day, day in, day out, Monday through Friday, throughout the week. Then you want to create a synergistic team culture. A successful team is more than just individuals completing assigned tasks. It is a collaborative unit that works towards a shared vision. So a strong team culture increases productivity, motivation, and long-term success. So if you want to create a high-impact team culture, here's some things you're going to need to do. Number one, clearly define roles and expectations to eliminate confusion and inefficiency. Everybody on our team has a job description. You need to foster open communication, encourage feedback, and regular check-ins. We have regular team meetings, we have regular one-on-ones, and we also have open channels in our ClickUp system where we can collaborate back and forth. We encourage ownership. Team members are given autonomy in their areas of responsibility. They've been empowered. We check in, we inspect what we expect, but we don't micromanage. If we trust you enough to be on the team, it's because we believe you have the skills, talents, and abilities to execute well. And so we encourage ownership, and we give you ownership stake in what we do. And then we provide growth opportunities. So we support professional development through training and mentorship. We take retreats as a team. We encourage time out for group training. We take team training every week. We spend an hour dissecting client accounts so that we all learn together. And then we also team teach. Look at the long-term benefits of leveraging a team. When you build a synergistic team, you're not just creating short-term relief, you're really developing a strategy for long-term growth and sustainability. So entrepreneurs and leaders who master delegation experience more productivity and scalability because the team allows for business expansion and increased capacity. You have increased revenue and profitability because you're delegating income generating activities. You're going to increase your profitability. And then, of course, you're giving yourself more time freedom. Entrepreneurs can focus on high-level strategy and vision. So let's wrap this up. How can you take action today? You know, if you've been trying to do everything on your own, it's time for you to break free from that mindset. It's actually a poverty mindset. Effective delegation is not about losing control. So if you're a control freak, you need to get over that. It's about gaining more impact, efficiency, and freedom. Here's a call to action for you. Identify one task you can delegate this week and take the first step toward building a high-impact team. So what's one area of your business or your ministry that you need to delegate more effectively this week? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for tuning into this video, and I look forward to talking with you in the next one.